now rocking with TDF everything. Spoiled Rotten.
Spoiler alert.
Welcome and welcome back, everybody.
Hey.
It's me, Daniel,
And this is bad.
on Spoiled Rotten. And today, we are spoiling Spider-Noir. All 8 episodes, all at once.
That's right, baby.
Yeah, how did you feel about the show?
Well, I have to state my extreme bias for Nicolas Cage, because I am a Nicolas Cage stan. I have an infinite amount of fascination when it comes to his acting choices and all that kind of stuff. And I enjoyed it, but I think the rating I'm going to give you is going to surprise you at the end.
Yeah. Probably not. But
Fair enough.
I would say, well, people know one bias of me, which is I'm not a Nick Cage fan, but I would say he is the least of my problems with this show.
Yes.
I would say, like, this is a great deployment of Nick Cage, if you're going to put him front and center. I do want to give caveats for a particular bias I have going into it, which is I was ready to just be like, whatever, it's a Nick Cage. I keep wanting to say Nick Fury or Nick Cannon, but I was like, it's whatever. It's a Nick Cage thing.
Yeah.
I liked him in Into the Spider-Verse, but probably won't be that bad until I saw Comics Drake post his video about why you should be worried about Spider-Noir, and I was like, uh-oh. I thought he was gonna like it and think it was fun and whimsical until I watched the video and I was like, huh. So up top, I will acknowledge, yes, there are different versions of Spider-Man Noir, not Spider-Noir, but Spider-Man Noir throughout the years. But he focused on the first iteration, like the actual first run, which I ended up reading. And he talked about how even from the trailers, he could tell they were not going to do any of the meaningful stuff from that original comic. Sure. And I was like, oh, bummer, because it just felt like this is the time to do that, which is obviously in this case we knew it wasn't going to be Peter Parker, but have a Spider-Man that was anti-capitalist and to be like, oh, this is what's wrong with the world and we need to remove leaders that are not looking to serve the people if the system won't take them out themselves.
Oh, that was the original Spider-Noir?
Yes. It's
that's sick.
It's like Aunt May and Uncle Ben are like straight up, I think they call them socialists, but it feels like they're like full-on communists. Right. And they're like, no, like we don't fuck with capitalism, and that's what they instill in Peter Parker.
That's
then he
awesome.
He's with Ben Urich, who's like slowly admiring how Peter Parker is committed to that. And then in the second run, it's about how people don't listen to black people. And so Robbie Robertson, who is in this show, is in the second run, and he's like, yeah, I'm trying to do this story on this scientist who's Doc Ock, and he's like, I think he's doing things to black people. And Peter Parker's like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, he's just a scientist. Like, this could help. And then the way the story plays out, he's like, fuck, I should really listen to my friend who's black. Like, he obviously sees the world differently than I do, and I should have paid attention to that. And I was like, wow, okay, like, that is really cool that was the first run.
Yes.
And it feels like that would work perfectly for what they're doing here, especially with the diverse cast. For the most part diverse. And it just felt like the show didn't want to meet the moment, because the show is like, nah, it's just fun that we're in the 30s. We're just gonna do that.
It's fun for some people more than others.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about at a safe distance in a fictional thing.
Yes,
that's
of
course. That's what I mean. But to your point, yeah, like, it's like this is really for one group of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is my bias when I talk about that. So I'm saying that I can't help but read that stuff and then watch the show. And I did one watch before reading anything, read it, then did a second watch. So I can't help but have that top of mind when I'm watching the show and feeling like that was a whiff. But
Right.
people might accuse me of wanting the show to be something it's not. So I will go into my next thing of, I think the show suffers for me because after the first 3 or 4 episodes, I'm like, it's done. They figured out who the rat is, and now we don't need to do this anymore.
Yeah.
I like the second half better, but when I hear people talk about how they don't like the ending, I'm like, yeah, because it already ended. Like they just started something new, like after episode 4, and I was just like, the first time I was like, this is not working for me. I don't know why we're doing this. It just feels like the show is done already.
Sure.
I don't really care about Sandman. I thought he was very flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's Jack Houston, who's like really great in Boardwalk Empire, so I don't know how they got such a flat performance out of him in this. I like Silvermane, but not as the main antagonist. I'm just kind of like, yeah, he's fun. I like this guy. Mm-hmm. And I don't mean I aspire to be a gangster who treats people poorly. I just thought, if we're spending time with him, yeah, I'm happy to spend time with this bad guy. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just thought like the pacing really killed this, because I'm like, we're done. What are we doing? Why are we still doing this? It's done.
I'm very glad you said that, because I had a big issue like just halfway through the show. I'm just like, wait, what are we still? Oh, I get it. We're doing the power fantasy stuff or whatever is like the superhero stuff now. It's like, oh, it's more fantastical.
I think it's the anti-power fantasy stuff, because that's the second half is him being like, I need to get rid of this power. I don't want it.
Yeah, and he's going back and forth about that, and it's like we're getting... Then the whole mystery becomes like, oh, how did he get his powers in the first place? And like going back to World War I and all that kind of stuff, which is like not the actual premise of the show. They need to figure out who the rat is, and like you said, halfway through, I'm just like, wait, why did they do that? It's weird. Why didn't they just put the origin stuff like a little bit earlier as opposed to toward the end?
Episode 5 should have been the second episode.
I agree with you. Yeah, second or third episode. It's weird. And another bias I will say, don't love noir stuff. This is the one genre of like everything I've seen has been like, nah, no go for me. Even watching Sin City, I'm just like, yeah, this is, if it wasn't as violent or as visually stunning as it is, I'm like, I wouldn't rewatch this at all. There's nothing appealing to it.
So this is the other annoying thing that came up. This is continuing a conversation we had off mic, but people's assumption, and I'm not saying this is your assumption, but the people that think that noir means it's black and white is like blowing my mind. And I was in film class in university and still had people there thinking that film noir just meant black and white. I know that some people who are saying it don't think it just is black and white, but I see people really clinging to, no, well, it wouldn't be called that if it wasn't black and white. Everything was black and white. Like
everything was black and white.
Or 99% of it was black and white. It doesn't matter. Everything was black and white in terms of widely released things back then. It is strictly about pacing and mood. Yep. And I don't just mean, hey, if you pace it this way, it's what you're talking about. It is it's like a cynical take on life. Everyone's a bad guy. We had Andrew on earlier talking about the same thing. Yep. He likes it. I like some noir as well. This, I've seen people who are smarter about this kind of stuff actually break down why it's not even noir.
Right.
It's just, as I said, just cosplaying in the like, oh, it's just fun because we're in this time period and we can say noir. But they're not even, to the earlier point, pacing it like noir. Like it's cut quickly. So there, yeah, I just found it also annoying when people are like, if you watch this in color, you're an idiot. I'm like, there are noirs in color. Also, I think it looks good at different times in both. I've watched it the first time in black and white. And then I watched it in color, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, it would be a shame if people didn't see this part in color. Like, it actually looks very good. It's not consistently good, but I don't think the black and white is consistently good either. I think they both have their moments. And then maybe you just like black and white better, then great. Just watch that and leave other people alone. But, yeah, the other thing is I don't. There might be a run that's in black and white, but the original run's not in black and white. Like it was always envisioned as something you watch or read in color. So when I see people getting mad about that, I'm like, oh, well, you played the video game like I did, like Mirror Dimensions or whatever, and that was all black and white, and maybe you think that's what it's supposed to be, or you watched Into the Spider-Verse, but you're basing it off of not the original medium, which was the print, which was in color.
Oh man, so much to just so many shots fired there against
that was
people
my
that
issue
think they're
with it.
film people.
So that was my issue, like being like, I watched it in black and white, no problem, and then I was like, I'm gonna watch it in color because there were certain scenes where I was like, I wonder what that looks like in color, and I was happy I did watch it. But we can talk about what the season is. We'll jump around.
No, I definitely do want to talk about the black and white color thing since we're on it, because I only got to watch it in black and white because I'm just like, I think that they're going for a vibe here. I want to commit to the whatever the artistic thing was, because like there's been a lot of like interviews where they're like, oh, we did this in black and white and then we colorized it like it would have been back then, or all that kind of stuff, which to me I'm just like,
they
okay,
said they had to reshoot it for color.
Okay, then that's ridiculous to me. Then I'm just like, artistically create to one, like commit to one or the other. Don't give us both. I didn't like the fact that there was an option for both, so I just chose to watch it in black and white, which is, I'm not saying that I dislike black and white. I am just saying that, okay, clearly it's adding on to the film noir aspect, not because it's black and white and noir means black. Just the idea of like, oh, okay, they're going for more of a vibe around that era of time and all that kind of stuff. And for those people that think film noir is just black and white, I'm like, great. That means you think every Charlie Chaplin movie out there is film noir, which is ridiculous.
No, I didn't want to create that straw man. I knew what people were saying.
Yes.
I just feel like they're forgetting that everything was in black and white then, so that you can't use that as a deciding factor.
Yeah, it's a limitation of the technology back then. It wasn't a choice. It was the only choice. It's silly.
Well, to be fair, there is a very specific skill to filming in black and white, and so a lot of filmmakers actually said going to color ruined that because people stopped lighting properly. And I think that I saw someone online saying they were part of the crew, and they shot to be like historically accurate in how you would shoot those scenes in black and white. I didn't think everything looked like it was shot for black and white. Some of it looked like it was a black and white filter to me. But maybe that's a part of when they had to do reshoots, and they were just like, "Fuck it, we need this set for the color thing."
Maybe,
but I would just say that it is an unfortunate business decision to be like, we have to have this in color. But I also, it's why I led with the original source material isn't in black and white. So like it just like the black and white is just for nothing at that point. Especially since they want to distance this from Into the Spider-Verse, where he came from a black and white universe. Yeah,
they should have committed to one or the other. Because I've seen the trailer in color, I'm like, that looks great. I chose to watch it in black and white because I'm like, look, they're going for a vibe. I want to respect that. I haven't been able to rewatch it in color like I wanted to, but here we
I don't have a preference out of the two of them. I think both of them have their merits.
Sure.
But yeah, I just thought it was weird that people like you're MAGA if you watch it in color. Like that was something I thought.
What? Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and so I just wanted up top address the film noir doesn't mean black and white.
No, it does not.
The original comics aren't in black and white.
Yeah,
and so at that point, there's no problem with someone being, I'm going to watch this in color. Since it's there. And my other argument online was, do you think the people that had to come back for an extra year of reshooting are happy that you're not even going to watch the work they put into it? Like, do you think they're like, oh, good, they didn't watch the color. It was worth me going back to work for that.
Yeah, that can't be right.
But I'm also acknowledging, yes, that's a cynical thing to be like, nah, people won't watch it if we don't put it in color. It's just, you didn't have to do black and white in the first place, since that's not how people originally met Spider-Man Noir. And you didn't fully commit to film noir. So again, it wouldn't matter.
I will say though, that opening shot where he's web slinging through New York and having that voiceover and all that kind of stuff, watching that in black and white, I'm like, oh, this is a vibe. This is actually cool,
Yes,
kind of deal.
both versions have their strong points, and I'm not even saying it's the same in each spot. It's just,
of course,
that's why I was happy I watched both ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, if people didn't watch it or need a reminder, the season starts off with Ben Reilly. I know that's not his real name. He said he uses a fake name, but Ben Reilly, Nick Cage, is asked to photograph somebody's wife, and it's Cat Hardy. In the comics, it's Felicia Hardy. I don't know why they call her Cat Hardy. And he's just like, all right, well, obviously this person's lying to me. There's a very funny bit where he's looking at the picture of Cat Hardy, and then the husband, he's like, you got a big dick or something? Like, what? No, I don't think this is your wife. So he's already like, okay, this person's trying to fuck with me. And he brings it back to his amazing, I guess you would call her his girl Friday, but like assistant for the first part of it, Janet, who's just like, yeah, that's the mayor. Like, she's with the mayor. And so he gets pulled into this world with Cat Hardy where he has to investigate what she's up to. And she works at a club that's in her name but is owned by Silvermane, played by Brendan Gleeson. And he's just like, yeah, I'm going to run this place because Spider-Noir isn't around anymore. And he is looking for superpowered henchmen, even though he has one right there with Sandman, but I guess Sandman's been pretending not to have powers. None of that stuff worked for me. But yeah, he's like, okay, I need more. And Sandman kind of throughout the show is the one who Cat Hardy actually loves. And he keeps running away from her. The second time I watched, I'm like, why are you running so many times? Like, what is your problem, man? So she feels rejected by him and keeps going with Ben Reilly, who for some reason definitely thinks she's into him. And I'm just like, what is happening?
It's so silly.
Yeah, he's so excited. And I get that for the noir tropes of the femme fatale, she needs to make him believe that she needs help and she's helpless. So he does. He helps her because she is the snitch for Silvermane. She ruins a not a drug deal, but a alcohol run with Canadians, and there's a bunch of stuff that she does. She's working with the mayor to like strip him of his like gangster status and stuff, and they pin it on what's his name, Lucas Haas, Leonardo DiCaprio's best friend, and so they like pin it on him. And to me, I'm like, okay, well, the show's done. Even if you are like, but she really did it, it still is like she won. She got the detective to do what she wants. But then they're like, no, we're gonna keep going. Now we're gonna tell you about Ben Reilly's origins, and they keep coming back to this. So like all the bad guys you see in it, there's like one superpowered bad guy. It's Megawatt. Everyone else is just like, I just really don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
I need money and I'm dying. Yeah. But yeah, they were all at this one POW camp in World War One, which I was like, how's that now? How old is he? How old is Ben Reilly supposed to be? Because like they do de-aging, but I'm like, dude, like these people are like in their late 30s, early 40s. You are a good 20 years older than them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't think you guys would be at the same level at that point.
They wouldn't be, but I mean, it is what it is.
Anyway, so that's what keeps coming up. You keep seeing this picture, and they keep revealing new people who are superpowered people in the show. And the big reveal is that, Ben Reilly saved them and got bit by a literal Spider-Man. Which was very upsetting. Like, and his reaction was burn this shit, like burn all of it.
Burn it all down.
Jeez, all right.
It's like, wow, okay. Jeez. He went from savior to like like burn it all down real quick.
Everyone else is kind of like they just got their powers like when the show started like a couple months ago versus him having his powers since that day.
Mm-hmm.
And they just got their powers, but they're dying, and he isn't. So there's a doctor that's like, I'm working on a cure for this because everyone got like superpowers, but her son, sorry, spoiler, her son just is old. I was like, is this supposed to be the Vulture? But no, it was just an old guy.
That's what I thought they were going for, and I'm just like, oh, they're not attaching that to anything.
No,
it would have made sense if they called it the Vulture.
Disappointed when it was Megawatt and not Electro. Megawatt is a character, but I was just like,
yes,
what? Or the other guy, the initial guy that burns down Silvermane's house.
Yeah,
when he wasn't Molten Man, I was just like,
he's just
what are
some
we doing?
random fire dude.
Guy. Yeah, just some guy.
And I'm just like, it's weird because I'm just like the way they revealed how they got their powers. I'm like, so how are you going to justify the fire thing? Like, what animal is that? They were very careful in choosing the other animals
but
they were all connected
what turns you
to.
just old?
And what turns you into sand? Like it was so wild with what they were doing.
At least with
there.
Tombstone,
like,
I guess he looks like an armadillo.
Yeah, it's
I don't
like
know why
okay,
he's called Tombstone, but he looks like an armadillo.
You could give me some version of some sort of like lizard or whatever that does do that, but I'm just like, Megawatt, sure, whatever.
So he's so then Cat gives him up. They make a plan to leave together, which I always saw as her being like, whatever, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
And he's thinking like, this is it. Like I'm living my life. I'm finally over that woman that I 100% could have saved but did not save in the car.
Ruby,
that stuff didn't work for me either. But
it was terrible. It didn't work at all.
So then he's depressed, and they just cut him open, take parts of his body. He's perfectly fine after the fact.
Yep. If
you watch it in color, he does kind of look yellow, but not as yellow as the black and white would have you believe. And he basically, I don't know, I guess Robbie Robinson just keeps pushing him to be like, just be the Spider already. And he's like, okay,
we need him back.
I'll do it. Yep. And he has to do a showdown with Silvermane for the antidote. And then there's a big fight at the end. Those are the main beats. We can get into details, but those are the main beats of the show. It comes down to these people who had a very specific experience during World War One, and they don't do the surf vampire thing or whatever that new trend is called. Not the new trend, but what people have given a name to, which is where shows will be called surf vampire, but the vampire doesn't surf until the last episode before the credits roll, which a lot of shows do. They didn't do that. He's in the suit at the beginning of the first episode, but he actually in real time gets the suit back in episode 2.
Yeah.
But it is like we were playing with his origin for a long time. As I said, 4 episodes. You didn't get it until episode 5, and it's so important to what they actually wanted to talk about. I have no idea why they gave so much airtime to that first bit.
It's weird.
Because that guy wasn't the snitch. I feel like anyone who cares about Noir and watched it in black and white because they know what they're doing would have been like, she did it, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. But they dragged that out for however long, and I'm just like, that guy's dead. He didn't even come back. So it's like, why that needed to just be the first episode. Yeah. But yeah, at some points, like Sandman's like, I'm not gonna hurt you, Ben Reilly, because you protected her. So this is your one time. Like, I feel like you just gotta let him slide. Like, you just gotta be like, I love this woman, and you saved her life. I'm in your debt. Like,
don't say once.
There's no like, well, this is just the one time. Like, what are we doing this for? The person you're protecting is the one that's gonna kill your girlfriend. Like, this isn't even like, oh, you saved her from something else. You saved her from a burning building. It's like, you are literally the reason this guy I work for won't kill her.
Yep.
But yeah, I was not into Sandman as a character. I found him to be boring.
Yeah, Sandman sucked. But that's
He
in all
looked
fairness.
but
He
was
did.
fine.
He did. In all fairness, I'm just like, that's how I feel about all fearful avoidance. I'm like, just be a coward, someone else. Don't drag anyone else down with you.
Yeah. I guess we should go through the good guys first. Ben Reilly. As I said, this is a good deployment of Nick Cage. It's funny.
Yes.
They give him times where he needs to make up characters. So I'm like, yeah, there you go. There's a good outlet for him to break reality and do stupid things. I think other than when he's trying to break into his house to get the suit back is the only time where I'm like, yeah, I guess you got to do a character for this. Kind of. Like, otherwise, why would they let you in? But like every other time, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Like they don't know who you are.
They
just
don't.
Be like, let me in. Not the apartment. He 100% has to pretend.
Oh, 100%.
No one would let him in. But like when he's at the doctor's office, I'm like, I don't. What do they care?
Well, I mean,
it didn't even work.
So this is the one thing I was just like, what I like about Nick Cage's performances is that he just makes choices, and more often than not, because he's been in movies only exclusively up until now. Like, this is his first TV project. He doesn't have to explain them within the context of the movie because there's not enough runtime. Here, there's a lot of runtime, so they actually get to explain. It's like, oh, the spider DNA made me move like a spider, so I had to watch all these film movies to, like, learn how to talk and learn how to move like a human and all that. And I'm just like, oh, man, they wrote that in? That sucks. I didn't want that. I just wanted him to be weird. Like, when he starts twitching and moving like what he thinks a spider is, I'm just like, yeah, that's Cage. I love that. And then they wrote it in, and I'm like, no, that's not Cage. But the idea that I love what basically Cage said in an interview, because of course I watched all the interviews with Cage after watching this. He was saying how when he was being pursued to play Green Goblin in Spider-Man 1 with Raimi, he was like, oh, it would be a really, really good idea if the spider DNA made Peter Parker move like crazy. And then Raimi was like, no, shut up, that's stupid. And then so he's like, and I'm really glad I got to bring that idea here. I'm like, yeah, you see, it works because it's you, Cage, but it wouldn't have worked if it was Tobey Maguire.
So I'm like, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
It. No,
yeah,
they need to explain it. I didn't like it until he was like, this is the remnants of me going full Spider-Man, but I watch these gangster movies or whatever to learn how to speak. I mean, if you're upset that he didn't get to ruin the reality with his craziness, he did reference a movie that that happens like 16 years later than this show takes place. Yeah. So there you go. He still got to ruin things
because he was saying that he was channeling Bogart and Bugs Bunny, and in the apartment scene, I'm like, yeah, that's 100% Bugs Bunny. And then Bogart's everything else, and I'm just like, okay, sure.
Yeah, I think Cage. He said something like, "Have you seen Freaks?" And somebody, the House of R podcast, like that came out in like 1949. So when he says it's still in theaters now, you're like, nope. No, it's not.
Nope. Adding more to the whole bunch of people that want this to be a multiverse movie, which is.
Yeah, they're like, the only explanation is that their time doesn't work the same way. So but I do just think it is multiverse. I've seen people like, no, because Sony can't use the name Peter Parker. I'm like,
which
Sony make the movies. What do you mean they can't use the name Peter Parker?
They were explicitly told in this series not to use Peter Parker.
That's not because they can't use it. You're not allowed to show Peter Parker smoking and drinking, which he does.
Correct. Yes.
So that's not the same thing.
Right. Okay. Fair. Yeah.
Those are rules for Peter Parker everywhere, not just Sony doing a TV show.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I was annoyed by people talking like that. Like, you should do some light research on it, buddy. Yes, they can say Peter Parker.
Yes.
Have you seen literally any Spider-Man movie?
Except for Madam Web. Couldn't say it there.
Yeah, but he wasn't on screen.
I know, but when they were playing that name the baby thing or whatever, that game, no one said Peter.
Yeah, unless they were like, only through these years between No Way Home and Brand New Day, you can't use Peter Parker. That's not a thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
but yeah, you can't show him doing certain things. So yes, maybe he is a Peter Parker that they needed to say his name is Ben Reilly so that he can do all the things he does in this show. But that's not a function of Sony's ability to use or not use the name Peter Parker.
Right.
That is, don't do these things with Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Anywhere. But yeah, so he learned how to be human like that way. He fell in love with Ruby. I know they explain it, that he got drunk somewhere and he wasn't there for her and she died. But I'm like, in the flashbacks, it looks like you could have done something more than you did.
Well, I mean...
Like, he gets there and she's still going, "Ah," and he's just like, no.
But to be fair, Spider-Man has never been good with water. And water does neutralize everything. So it's the fact that, he couldn't swim with that leather trench coat and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, that does make sense to me. And sure, why not? Because we have to give him a tragedy, which means we have to fridge a female character at some point.
I just don't think you do need to give him a tragedy.
You don't need to. But like
you can be like, he is a war veteran. He's got PTSD.
Sure.
Perfect. That is the point of what they wanted to get. That's what they wanted to deal with.
Yeah,
you don't need to kill a woman.
True, exactly. That is what I'm saying. Is like they had to do it, but I'm just like, oh god, because I want the PTSD angle too. Because I think it's infinitely more interesting if someone does have PTSD and chooses to punish themselves by being like, no, I did love someone and then I couldn't be safe around her or whatever it is because of the flashbacks or because he was a spider at nighttime and like hit her or something like that. It's just like, okay, that's a little bit more interesting without having to kill a female character for the sake of the plot, which is ridiculous. But here we are.
It was just used to explain why he wasn't the Spider for 5 years.
Yeah.
It was not
That's
really
the worst part about
anything.
it. Yeah, that's the worst part about it. It was just like, it's temporary.
But yeah, I don't know if I can, like, he's Spider-Man. He's not just a regular human. So I don't know about the physics at that point. I don't think you can be like, well, in real life, it's like, no, he's a Spider-Man. He's got a lot of strength. He can do a lot of things.
But that's the thing. If you watch, like, every Spider-Man thing, like, every time he goes up against water, he's not good against it. So I'm like, I like that continuity.
I don't know that happens that many times. I don't know if it happens enough times for me to be like, yeah, that's just a constant with Spider-Man.
I have seen it. Like, I think back to the Hydro Man episodes of the Spider-Man show and, like, Peter fighting the water, like, Mysterio
When I think about the Spider-Man show, he beats him, and then they're just like, nah, he's just too strong. Yeah. Like, he'll be like, oh, I'll fix my webbing. And then he's like, nah, he broke out of that, too. Yeah. I don't ever remember him being like, fuck, he's water. I can't do anything for more than a part of the episode.
Yeah, but in all fairness, MJ is the one that saves him because she's also a water woman. But,
yes, but what I'm saying is that's not an example of me being like, oh, he can't do anything against water.
Fair enough. I've always had that thought. I'm just like, yeah, he's not good against water. That made sense to me.
Fair enough.
But that's just me.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, I'm like, yeah, they didn't need to fridge a female character,
especially since she's just not a character.
Yeah, she's just a flashback.
It was just like, no, you just kill her.
Yeah.
He'll have one dream sequence with her for 2 seconds.
We're gonna milk that for multiple episodes.
But yeah, so he's not doing that. He's not even really being paid to be a private eye.
Yeah.
Like Janet's like, you gonna take money anytime? And he always finds a reason not to.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, no, that's connected to the mob. No, that's something to do with the mayor. I don't want to deal with it. And you're just like, I like Janet enough. I like Janet too much for you to keep doing this. You just got to take the money and give it to her, please.
Yeah, I agree.
I do like that at one point Janet's like, I'm leaving, by the way. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm like, I always respect when characters are like, you are getting in the way of my life now, so this is too much.
Yep, because they conveniently drop the whole fact. It's like, hey, don't you like the depression as well as like was it prohibition is going on during the whole thing. Like, these are nice little backdrops to everything, but they don't really like
the prohibition
seems
to
like that.
Make no difference whatsoever other than
the mayor,
the incumbent mayor is like, I'll get rid of it, and it's like, doesn't seem like anyone's hurting for drinks.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with prohibition. It's just like, you just made drinks cooler, and you made it into.
Well, historically, I guess 1933 is when people were pretty much just like, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care anymore. We're just gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was almost on the way out. So
Yeah.
to be fair, that was accurate.
But yeah, so he's got time for Kat. He's really into her. He keeps going to see her at the club where she sings. One very positive thing I have to say is I really liked the back and forth. Yes. Mostly whenever it was Kat. Kat always had a great way of putting people down or making them look dumb.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say everyone has a point where they're doing their back and forth. I'm like, that's funny. Like when Robbie is talking to his boss and the guy's like, well, you can't work here, but you can still give us your story. He's like, right, so do you want your door closed or open? He's like, oh, closed, please. He's like, got it. Yeah. Or when the guy was like, oh, the conductor, get it? Because he's like, oh no, comprehension wasn't the problem.
Yeah. That's one thing this show does really, really well. Like those back and forth quips, I'm like, yes. Those
were really good. There was also moments where people, I'm sure people would feel like it's breaking character, but I liked it. It just made them feel more real. Mm-hmm. Is they would actually laugh if someone said something funny. Like I think at one point Kat says something to Ben Reilly, and it's just Nick Cage being like, yeah, okay, that's funny. Yeah, or my favorite one is Brendan Gleeson as Silvermane. He's just like rallied the troops, like, okay, you're gonna go here, you're gonna go there, we're gonna make this city, remember who's in charge. And Kat's giving him a dirty look, and he just looks at her and he's like, you love it. This is funny. I like this stuff.
Yeah, that's good stuff. It's great stuff.
So yeah, he's I liked the back and forth stuff, especially with Janet.
Yeah.
But Robbie has his moments too. But yeah, I think that would be the strongest thing for the show for me. The visuals and the back and forths.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah. Speaking of Robbie, his arc throughout this whole series was I enjoyed his arc a lot. But I will say, anytime I see Lamorne Morris, I cannot see anyone other than Winston from New Girl. Yeah,
I have the benefit of not watching New Girl, so like I knew who he was. I know he replaced Damon Wayans Jr. and then they had a hilarious joke when Damon Wayans Jr. came back, and I think like it's like Jake Johnson's like, we can keep both.
Yeah,
it's like that's funny. I like that. But yeah, I don't really think of him as Winston. I mostly think of him as the BMO guy.
Yeah, he's the
BMO
guy. Which is funny watching BMO get advertised during this. Yeah. I'm just like, he's pulling double duty here. This is great.
I like it for what it is. It is a bummer based on knowing what happens with him in the comics. Mm-hmm. To be fair, I don't like what happens to him in the comics, but I like that they are actually more than just him. More people than just him are acknowledging the racism. Because in this show, there's like an assistant that I'm pretty sure like spit in his coffee and gives him dirty looks because he's around, but it's like no one else is dealing with it but him. Mm-hmm. And I understand that's how real life works, but as I've said before, you should comment, you should have something to say about it. It can't just be, well, that's what life was like. It's like, especially given the source material mm-hmm. and how Robbie Robertson factored into Spider-Noir. Mm-hmm. So no, I'm not going to ruin the thing, but I don't want what happens to him to happen to him in this show. I like that better, but it just felt like this was an opportunity to do some commentary and actually unpack some things, and they were just like, nah, he's just people are racist to him because it's 1933.
They went diet soda with that one a lot. With the racial stuff that was going on in the 1930s, like they were like, yeah, that's the whites only entrance and all that, but it was like very, very, very safe and not actually saying anything about it.
Well, I just feel like our hero should be reckoning with that too.
Oh, absolutely, especially with what you're describing. Comics. Yeah, with what you were describing in the comics, I'm like, yeah, he should absolutely be doing something.
He's just like, yeah, whatever. You have your own newspaper now. Fuck off. And I'm like, all right, well.
Yeah, it's like, wow, that's.
Did you know anything else? The one thing I didn't like about Robbie was, in terms of what the show wanted to do, was he was actively constantly telling him to be Spider again, and then at one point he's like, I never asked you to do it again. I'm like, you did ask him
repeatedly.
Many times. You always were asking him to do it again.
Yeah.
I know that he probably meant I never asked you to do it again so I could make money, but you still were asking him to do it again.
Right, yes. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, does it make a difference to Ben if you're asking him for the greater good or just for him to get paid? Like, you're still asking him to do something he doesn't want to do right now.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I didn't like. I was just like, wow.
That was a misstep.
You were
You've been
pushing him. And it's a good thing you did, but you still were pushing him all the time.
Yes.
Maybe you took a year off.
Maybe, but...
We didn't see that, though. All we saw was you constantly being, hey, now's a good time. Hey, you know, maybe you put the suit on.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like you, I appreciated that Robbie had his own thing going on, but it also made me be like, I mean, maybe this should have been either a Cat show, a Robbie show, or a Janet show, because it just feels like they have big ideas for those characters.
Yes, they do.
Maybe a Janet show wouldn't be. I feel like they could get there, but like I really liked her. She was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, she was great.
And she like knew how to operate. She's the reason they get tipped off on things because she can work the police. Also, the only time, and I think this would have made her too capable. I liked that she kind of got duped by Kat, but at first I thought she understood that Kat was the ops. Like when she was like, "Hey, he was supposed to go off with you, but you're only asking where he is now." I was like, "Okay, she gets it." But then she was like, "Oh no, I get it, sister. Don't worry." And I was like, "Oh, you really believe that story?" I thought you were like, "Don't say anything else. I already know what you're up to." So I was just like, I wish she caught on to that, but it does just make her human and realer that she was like, "Yeah, I'll believe you." And then she ends up doing the double slap thing. So it gets there, but I was just like, I feel like you should have known this. Like, you're not just a secretary. Like, you also have good intuition, it feels like, and can suss things out.
Yeah, which is why I'm glad at the end of the series they were like, yeah, we're going to put her name on the thing as investigator, too, because, like you said, she proves how capable she actually is, and, like, Ben Reilly wouldn't be able to get his job done without her. Like, that's an absolute fact. Like, he's falling apart, it seems. No,
Robbie and Janet, Robbie's doing his own thing, but the mix of Robbie and Janet are what help Ben actually get across the finish line in this.
Yeah, for sure.
Robbie, more importantly, because he has to put on the Spider-Noir suit, and that's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Especially when he gets the phone call and he has to do a Nick Cage impression.
Oh, that was my favorite part of this whole series.
It
was so good.
And I like the setup of Ben Reilly being like, I don't talk to him. He's annoying. He's got a sock on a head. You've seen him. You barely understand what that guy's saying. I was like, yes, this is all funny stuff. But yeah, so those are like the heroes, which is the trio of Ben, Janet, and Robbie. With Janet being like, you need to start taking on work because we don't even have a phone anymore. It's just a paperweight because we can't pay the bills. And at one point, like, everyone knows Ben Reilly, so they just come to her anyway, and like, they don't show her getting roughed up, but you can just assume she got roughed up. Yeah, they didn't just yell at her and make her feel sad.
No, they did not. They say it, but they didn't show it. Which is
that was another. Yeah. It wasn't about Janet, but I like there was a joke where Silvermane's talking about how to treat women, and someone interrupts. I don't even know who it is, and Ben's just like, "Yeah, Silverman was just telling us how to treat a woman properly." And again, Silvermane has to be like, "Fuck you." That was funny, but fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, that's good times.
Yeah, I liked all those moments, but yeah, he gets to a point where he has to be like, "All right, I got to go intimidate these people." And so he does the Spider-Noir thing, and he's like, don't fuck with Ben Reilly or any of his friends. And I like that Silvermane's like, does that mean you'll leave me alone? Because for like a lot of time you don't leave me alone. You've never been able to just leave me alone, so I really need to hear the words come out of your mouth that you're gonna leave me alone. I was like, hey, this guy's smart. Like, I like that he was just like, I'll do that because I don't really want beef with you, but you just need to tell me that it actually means you're going to leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was effective. And Robbie has this connection with Tombstone, who didn't. Tombstone and Sandman just did not work for me. I was just like, I don't even. I know you in a show where they didn't even name one of the superpowered people, and for two of the other ones, you're just like, I don't even know what this character is. Like, at least with Megawatt, I could look him up and be like, okay, that's a character. But for the old guy, I was just like, I don't even know who this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Why bother calling this guy Tombstone at that point? It's just like, he has none of the cachet of a Tombstone. It was not going in the direction of, and he'll become a gangster someday. It was just like Sandman, he doesn't really want to be doing this. He's just looking for help.
Yep.
And they're like, nah, he's Tombstone. And they do the police brutality thing, not against Tombstone, I guess, but when they're in that encampment and the police come in and Ben's like, no, I'm impressed. And they're like, who cares? I was like, see, now we're going, nope, we're not going to go anywhere with this. But I was like, okay. Because they still, at the end of the day, were like, no, there's still good cops that'll help them out.
Yeah,
no.
Hate that.
But yeah, I didn't get the point of the Tombstone thing. I was just like, why?
Neither did I.
These guys just need to be the leads. I guess you need Silvermane for the money aspect of it.
Yes.
I just didn't. Outside of thinking he had funny moments, and I like to hear him talk, I was like, it all feels like he's like on his way out.
Yeah. Because it just felt like to me, I'm like, yeah, you're just a goon. Why bother making you Tombstone at that point? It's just like,
I meant Silvermane because because the show's so dedicated to being like, they're in his orbit. Like,
right.
They're like around him. Even though Megawatt has all the good ideas of like, why are we even listening to this guy? We are the ones with the powers. But that only highlights how much Sandman and Tombstone are like, because we're not really like that.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be bodyguards, but
yeah,
we're not trying to like steal and do all that stuff. Obviously, they're okay to look the other way, but they're not built like that. So I was just like, I don't know. Like, and this one guy, the Sandman, keeps running away, and Tombstone is just pretty much just a good guy for most of the show.
Yeah.
He's flat out like, I'm going to save Kat when Sandman freaks out and almost kills her. I'm going to save Robbie when the police are beating up on him. And I will eventually just end up going to Niagara Falls with my mom.
Yep. He's a good guy. Like, there's nothing bad about him, which is, good, but it's just like, why bother making him
weird skin?
Yeah, it's just why bother making him Tombstone? Yeah, at that point, it's weird. I will say that Megawatt, that was the one performance that I'm like, oh, yeah, you're making Cage look relatively reserved in this, because I really did not like his stuff. Like, I get that his character was like trying to be an actor and all, like, I'm just like, dude, turn it off, because even the quotes that you're using, they're wrong. Like, you got the quotes wrong. I
like that. I like that he got it wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that was Ben's point at one point when he's in the room. He's like, you've probably never seen it. It's called Broadway. Like, the whole point is you're supposed to believe he's a bad actor, and that's why he's not just acting.
Okay, that's fair.
And he was like, yeah, like, wasn't he like running trains? Not running trains, sorry.
Yeah, he's a conductor.
He's actually like a train conductor, so it's like, you wouldn't be doing that if you actually could act or knew. Like, so the overacting and the misquoting things, I was like, yeah, I like this. This seems like he should have just been the main bad guy.
That's fair. He is the main bad guy as far as
trying to. Well, I mean, Silvermane is like, everything has to come down to Silvermane, but like, he should be the main
powers.
Bad guy. Yeah, but what I'm saying is there should be no Silvermane, even though it means we would miss out on Brendan Gleeson.
Yep.
It's like, it should have just been him being like, why are we not just taking over the city?
Yeah,
we have powers.
He's fundamentally right about that.
Yeah, and so like, I get that he has an annoying performance. I'm not here to convince people otherwise. I just thought, like, at least we're committing to someone being a bad guy here.
Sure,
this is someone who needs to be like, I will enjoy him losing.
Mhm.
I think he stayed alive way too way too much. I'm like, did this guy get like shot in the chest at one point or some? Maybe not. No, I'm thinking of the other guy, the fire guy.
Can't remember.
No,
that.
the fire guy gets shot.
The fire
in the
guy
chest,
gets
and he
shot.
dies.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And yeah.
I think he gets shot in the shoulder because there's the part where he's like he's in police custody and they're like laughing at him for getting shot. But I liked how antagonistic he was.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean I think people should think he's a good character. I was just like, I mean, at least Megawatt has a good point, and he's interesting more times than he's not to me.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
But and that great Nicolas Cage moment where he's talking about, like, you've probably never seen it before. It's called Broadway. You ever been on a stage? No, not you. And then he says it later too. He's like, "Oh, you suck. I beat your ass." Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked that. I thought for sure they were going to call him Electro until he was like, "Oh, it's me, Megawatt." I'm like, really?
That's what I thought too. I was just like, how is this not Electro? But I guess it's probably because they wanted to, use Electro seriously as opposed to this. But I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know if they can because they already. I mean, I know they'll do other, but like their last Spider-Man movie burnt through old versions of Green Goblin, Electro, Lizard, like, and I know Kevin Feige's thing has always been. I know his name is on it, but it's not a Kevin Feige project. In the movies, I know Kevin Feige wants to do like villains we haven't seen before.
Yeah, which I appreciate.
Yeah, so I don't think they would be worried about using Electro in this. It's just
true.
Maybe conductor, maybe Megawatt has a very specific look that guy met, but I don't know. Yeah, we should talk about Kat.
Yep.
As I said earlier, I would have watched just a show about her. I understand that would take her out of the femme fatale role in a noir, but I don't think this show actually committed to the bit of being a full-on noir. So that's why I was like, just make her the lead. In the comics, she's completely different. Like, in the comics, she is older by enough than Peter. Like, Peter's still supposed to be young in the comics. Right. And she's like having sex with him and basically being like, "I'm your booty call. Don't actually get attached to me." Yeah, she's still a femme fatale, but it is just like a different. It's a different relationship than here, which is fine. They wanted to make it different, but I think what both of them would have going for them is their ambition and their ability to operate. And I really liked that Kat never backed down or anything. Like, I think at one point he's like, "Oh, of course you wouldn't like that." Like, Silverman's trying to make her feel bad for being upset that they shot up the hospital or where the doctor lives, and she's like, "Oh yeah, of course. I'm just a little girl. Why would I care about people's lives or whatever?" I'm like, yeah, here we go. Yeah, keep fighting back. And so her whole thing is, she was working for Silvermane. She fell in love with some dentist. He killed him. So she already was like, all right, fuck that guy. I'm going to figure out how to get him back. And then she fell in love with Sandman. And obviously couldn't really do much with that since I get the impression she's supposed to seem available to Silvermane, even if he's not in an outright relationship with her.
Yeah. He just wants to control, like she says, and I'm just like, all right.
I think people were like, especially on the House of Horror, but I saw other people be like, "How dare she like give up Ben Reilly's secret to the Doctor?" I'm like, I just saw it as like, this is the easiest way to do this.
Yeah,
just get him. He's over there. I get that people are like, she should have told him, and he probably would have been like, "Oh yeah, okay, I'll do that. I already don't want these powers." But I'm like, so then you're admitting you don't want a noir, if that's what she's gonna do. This is an instance of them trying to play into the noir tropes. She's making a bad decision. That's the point. If she made the decision that makes sense and considers him, then we're not doing a trope. You might as well just watch it in color.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just was like, this, just by necessity of what they're pretending they want to do, has to happen.
Yeah.
I also just was like, I don't know, like she kind of. I also saw it as like, I really just want to be with Sandman. So
Yes.
talking to him would still put me like this is a double. This is like a double-edged thing of like, not double-edged because that makes it seem like it hurts her. It's like I don't really want to be with this guy, and I can save the person I really want to be with.
Yep.
So like I don't really care about talking to him.
Yep.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, this is the person. Now sort that out so I can save the person I actually love.
Yep. Because I do like the thing where it's like every time they use their powers they go crazier and all that kind of stuff, and it's not like a good thing, but all that kind of stuff, which is like it adds that other element of like, okay, it makes me truly believe the Sandman Cat Hardy kind of relationship and how much they do care for each other, or at least how much she cares for him. So to me, I'm like, yeah, her selling out Ben makes a lot of sense. And it's just like, why are people mad at her for it? She's already the snitch and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, it's just at that point, why would she deviate from what she's been doing the whole series, which is look out for herself and her own interests?
I think that is what I liked about her, is how much she was like, I'm just gonna do what I want.
Yeah.
I like that when they do it with Spider. I like it when they do it with Catwoman in the comics, and I like it here too. Where I'm just like, I don't have to think she's doing the right thing or like be like, oh, that's what I just like that she's like, what can I do given my status to get what I want out of something? Yep, this is what I will be doing.
Yeah, because
it's good for her. I was always like, good
yeah, because I'm just like, you can act, you can. It's a weird request to be like, oh, so you just want her to keep being oppressed by Silvermane and being under control and all that kind of stuff. It's just like, this is how she has to operate within the confines of the situation that she's in, which is under Silvermane, a gangster's control. It's just like, make that make sense to people that are like, make that make sense to me in the sense where you want her to all of a sudden deviate from the character that's been consistent this whole series. Like, what are we talking about here? It's silly.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's just people really feeling bad for Nick Cage, but I was like, it's got to be Nick Cage. I don't know if people care about Ben Reilly that much, but maybe they do. I just was like, I mean, this is how it should play out if we're doing a noir. Yeah. And I just really was sold on her being like, I don't actually care about Ben Reilly.
Yes.
She probably feels bad when she hears, not probably, she definitely feels bad when she hears that he probably got killed when they went to the thing. But I don't think she's like, damn, I should have gone with him. She's just like, I think I don't want to be with him. I have a chance to be with the person I want to be with.
Yeah, because Ben Reilly is the only character that thinks like that's actually a possible thing. It's like he's deluded himself into thinking.
Well, this is the thing. I thought for sure, it's another time where I was like, what's going on with Janet? She's like, Ben, when he's like, yes, it's Kat. We're going off together to Santorini, and I was just like, she's gonna be like, oh, you should know this about her, but she's just like, no, I'm just really happy for you, and I'm like, I can't tell if she just read the room and was like, I'm happy for you, or she just literally was always going to be like, hey, you don't have to like sell me on this. I'm just happy you're happy, and I think it's the latter, even though it should have been the former.
Yeah.
I'm basing that off of how she reacts when Kat's like, oh, have you seen him? So I don't think she was like, oh, I'm going to read this situation and be like, oh, I'll just tell him I'm happy, because even though I'm not really. I think she genuinely was happy for him, so both of them were in that delusion together.
I think so too, and it's kind of like the idea of like, and I watched this recently, the Dark Knight Rises, where Alfred's like, yeah, I'll set you up for like with a criminal if it'll get you out back into the world and all that kind of stuff. It's just, I felt like that was her way of being like, oh, you're getting excited about something? I haven't seen that in 5 years. That's awesome. You know, get back on the horse. Get like, care about something. You know what I mean? It's so whether like I agree with you. It's like, if we're gonna talk about a character making a choice against Ben Reilly, I'm like, no, we have more to talk about with Janet than anything else. But to me, I'm choosing to believe it's just like, oh, you're starting to act like yourself again. This is great. I'm not going to pop that bubble, you know? That's what I thought.
Yeah. So he's excited about it. And then there's great things where he's like, he gets paid $2,000 from Silvermane to get the antidote.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'd ask you to come with me, but we all know how that goes. I think that's the moment where she says something like withering back, and he just has to be like, that was funny, yeah, sure. But yeah, I do like that he actually was hurt by her not coming. Like, see, this is a good use of him having a broken heart.
Yep.
No one has to die. He just got played.
Yep.
Well, we went with both. Someone had to die, and he got played.
It's a choice, but whatever.
So yeah, the cat stuff worked for me.
Yeah,
I liked her as a character. I know that people really upon rewatch, I did think that the first few episodes were strong. It just, by the time we got to 5, I'm like, this is where the show's going. This should have just been the second episode. There's just too much time in those first 3 or 4 episodes for me to be like, and it seems like I was right, because I saw a bunch of people being like, I don't like the second half, or it just felt weirdly paced, and I'm like, yeah, man, because
the show's over.
They finished it. There was no need to keep going.
Yeah.
Other than they had more story to tell, and they wasted 2 episodes in the middle to get there.
Yeah, the idea of like him turning into the spider and how everyone else got their powers, I'm like, no, put that way earlier, like episode 2, 3, maybe 4. But I'm just like, no, that cat reveal needed to be done at like episode 7, like right before the finale, to me, in order to actually.
I like it better if
properly.
he just knows the whole time, and then that's the ticking time bomb everyone's dealing with, of like, when's Silvermane going to snap on her.
Yeah,
like
that's fair.
I think that's more interesting. I don't think you need to hide that ball for too long.
Because they did focus on the guy that was like dead for way too long. I was just like, what?
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is the guy that burnt down my house, and it's like, okay, well, I mean, if Kat did the other stuff, obviously she paid that guy. And I just feel like it was just weird pacing for me. I just feel like we don't. I get how these characters factor into the whole story, but this storyline is really just so that we know that Ben knows who really did this, and he falls in love with her and wants to. Or I don't really mean fall in love, but you get what I mean. Like, he's enamored by her and wants to protect her. That's all you need out of it. You don't need the 3 to 4 episodes to like. And he marks his money a certain. I'm like, you can even do that and just be done by episode 2.
Yeah.
I do think that's still a lot to do, but maybe it's too awkward to put all of that in one episode.
Yeah. Probably.
But yeah, 2 at the most of the whole thing, because the longer he knows what her true nature is and has to hide that, the better for me. Yeah.
That's actually interesting. It is, and let's be perfectly honest. Like, how they got their powers is not that interesting.
I mean, as we already stated up top, we don't even fully understand what it is. Like, yes, you can see the visuals of how they're doing it, but it's like, what did they do to make that guy fire? What did they do to make that guy sand? Like, what's happening?
Like, the electric thing makes sense, because they were like, there's the electric eel. Yeah. And then there was a praying mantis and all that. They showed a bunch of animals that I guess were like, oh yeah, I guess they're setting up for maybe a potential for future seasons. But at the same time, it was like, nah, get that doctor stuff with the sun out of the way early, because I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, I guess you need the sun part, because that's her whole thing, is haven't you ever lost someone and like had an issue with that? And he's like, why, yes I have. And I'm like, that could have just been an army thing. I get that it has to be a lover, but it's like, that didn't work for me. But yeah, that's their whole setup, is it's there so that you can be like, well, the doctor is extremely. I guess maybe I just would have been like, just make her Flint's mom. Maybe, I guess it could have been just make it cleaner. That like the mom and the girlfriend both work together to get the person they love to safety.
I did like how the mom doctor was like, What? Yeah, this was always going to be the plan. Did you think we were just gonna like cure you and then just be like everything's good? Like we committed crimes here. Like
you know,
we got to cover this up.
I also like that he's like, untie me or I'll kill you. And she's like, yeah, you see, saying things like that is why we have you tied up.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're justifying our decisions right now.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
So he makes it out of there.
Mm-hmm.
They tell him we got your information from Kat. So he's real depressed at this point. And he goes to a bar, and all I can think is, all those people know you are Spider-Noir now. Like, you were in the bar drinking with them. I think he had a reasonable crash out of, don't you think that he ever gets lonely or whatever. People are like, he's too old to be like, I don't know if you can be too old to feel that way. And he also just freshly got his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
But anyway, he does that, just goes outside to put the mask on, but comes back completely dressed the same way.
The exact same way.
Like, you could have just
outfit.
put the mask on in there. Like,
yeah. It's ridiculous.
It's because I'm definitely not going to argue for him not putting the mask on.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're doing Spider-Man stuff, just do it in this fucking mask.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I did like that, because that's the episode that they reveal that Robbie and Janet have known that he's been the Spider the entire time, because he like reveals it every time he's drunk, right?
We know Robbie's known the whole time, because that's his whole thing, is go back to being the Spider.
Yeah.
The Janet thing, I get, is a funny montage, but I was just like,
it's just so funny.
I guess you just gotta make it was funny. But I'm just like,
yeah.
In those montages, he doesn't look like he thinks she's learning for the first time. Like, he'll just flat out say, the spider's busy, or whatever. And, like, I get that he's drunk, but it just was too confusing to me of, like, you should at least play it like the Iron, you can't do it the exact same way, but in Iron Man, when he's drunk and coming out of the suit, and Pepper walks in, and that's when she first realizes Iron Man, he doesn't just go like, yeah, whatever. He's just like, oh, come on, this isn't the weirdest thing you see me do. But it is still acknowledging, like, I know you're going to be upset about this, but, like, come on, let's just put this into perspective. Versus what they were doing in these reveals, where I'm like, this implies that he knows she knows. And that he's just like, yeah, man, I'm doing my thing. Versus what the show says after the fact, which is, well, I just pretended like I didn't know because I thought that would be easier for you. I'm like, but it doesn't feel like he thinks you don't know when he's drunk.
It's weird. It's weird, but it is funny.
Yes.
There's
no doubt about it. It is a
funny.
very funny montage.
Yep. It's great stuff.
But yeah, he's kind of like, I feel like they even, not in that episode, when he helps them, Tombstone and maybe it is the same episode, but he helps Tombstone and Robbie at one point, but he gets beat up like within an inch of his life, and Robbie's like, no, he just needs to sleep it off, and I'm like, is that like, are they saying that's real, or he was just in general just sleep it off? Because it felt like they were being like, sleep actually heals him.
Yep. I no clue, but
well, you know, there could be another episode another season that goes further into that. I'm assuming he's not as strong as regular Spider-Man.
No, I
like
did
struggling with stuff.
Yeah,
I don't mean with fights. I mean like when he's trying to like open things. I'm like, seems like he should be able to open this.
Yeah, and then the web shooter is not like going the way, or that, like, you know, not being as reliable. I like the fact that they built the age into it. It's just like, yeah, does he age out of these abilities at some point? It's like, that's kind of fun, but at the end of the day, it's...
I just took that as he'd used it all up after the surgery. Like, his body was just in too much trauma to do it. And I didn't see that as an age thing.
I thought it was more of an age thing, but I mean, they didn't fully explain it.
Yeah.
So it could be multiple different things, but...
Yeah, I took that as like, hey man, take it easy. We just went through a lot. Like, they cut up your liver and shit.
Yeah. I mean, which is fair.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. It didn't seem like an age thing to me. It felt like a direct response to overexerting himself after being under the knife.
Sure.
And having no downtime.
Yeah, because the other times he didn't use his powers, was just like, yeah, you're not wearing your mask right now. That's Every time he wears his mask, it's like, yeah, you get it. You do your stuff.
I also thought he used his webbing a lot. I was like,
He did.
I was like, hey, stop that. Like, there's sometimes where you're like, okay, that makes sense when he, like, webs up the door when he goes into Silvermane's place.
Yep.
But then there's, like, times where he's like, I'm going to web up my hat and bring it over here. I'm like, buddy.
Yeah, that's unnecessary.
Come on.
100% that's
His webbing is so dark and thick that I was just like, what are you going to do with the stuff that's left there?
Right.
You could just pick your hat up, man.
So, I mean, like, what color was it on...
It's black.
Oh, is it black? Cool.
I genuinely feel like it's... Like, I know some people, like, I watched a couple minutes, I didn't like it. I'm like, oh, sure. Like, I liked the color. I thought that these, like, especially the clothing really popped. There's definitely really cool... like when they're in the diner and stuff like that, it always looks really cool. I'm also a fan of the Dick Tracy movie because of the colors and the visuals, and it reminded me of that.
Right. Yeah, no, the color stuff, like, it looks cool, and I wish I got a chance to watch it, but I just, like, I made that commitment to be like, I'm watching black and white. So, yeah. Yeah,
I like the way Sandman, when he goes full sand, looks in color. I've heard people say they don't like it. I don't really like the effect in black and white or color when he's just kind of partially got the, like, splotches on his face.
Yeah, it just looks like eczema.
Yeah, just don't. Well, it wasn't for me, but when he goes full sand, I'm like, this is a cool look, but, like, not in motion. Just like when they're like when Robbie takes the picture and stuff, like when they're posing, I'm like, yeah, this looks cool in color and black and white, but also in color. So yeah, basically, I think we already said it. It comes down to he is with Silvermane and trying to just get paid and have Robbie bring the antidote, but they're like, no, you need to stay here till we get it. Then you get paid. And they have the funny phone call from Robbie, or with Robbie. And then he keeps talking about France. I don't know why he did that. On the second run through, I was just like, I just wish he didn't bring up France so much. Because the whole time that Megawatt is like a actual fully fledged character, he's like, where do I know you from? I know you from somewhere. I don't know why no one else thought that. But like, again, probably why he was one of my more liked characters. He's like, no, I know you from somewhere. And I liked it the first time. Ben Riley's like, because I saw you yesterday, idiot. And he's like, no. Before that, I know you. And so then, in an effort to get back at Kat, Ben's like, oh, I'm going to take this money. And I was going to say I'm just going to go someplace like Santorini. But no, I'm going to go to someplace in France where I can get along and it's great. And then Megawatt's like, oh, that's right. That's where I know you from. We were in the same camp. And I'm like, see, why did you keep going down the France path? And so then Silvermane is just like, so you guys were all at the same camp where you guys got powers and this guy's friends with Spider-Noir? Okay, then you are the Spider. And I was like, okay, good. I'm glad he figured that out on his own.
Yeah, I'm really glad. It's just like it's so funny.
Yeah, he's just like, oh, okay, well then, yeah, you're the Spider. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'm so glad there was no like drawn out thing. He's like, no, I know what happened here. Okay, and then he's basically like, I'm gonna kill Kat because you're not gonna just let her go. Because obviously Ben is like, no, I'm not. I don't know that guy like that. And I like that Kat is like, fuck you, don't do this to like further his story. Like, you should kill me, and you should kill me because of these reasons. I hate you, and I've always been coming for you. Yeah, I'm like, see, Kat's a G. I really like this.
I love
She's
that.
like, no, don't try and prove a point about him. This is me. I did this to you.
Yeah. Kat's so
respect.
good in this,
Respect.
for sure. Yeah.
But then, sorry, I keep wanting to call him Ben Urich. Then, Robbie Robertson comes in dressed as Thing, and he's like, oh, and I left Janet outside because it seemed weird to bring her into this with the antidote. And I like Megawatt, like when he gets the antidote, he's kind of like, why do you want this, by the way? And I was like, this is also a question I had. And he just confirms like, yeah, he wants to control us. Yeah, so you're not. I'm not giving you. I'm not giving it to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, and this is why I like Megawatt.
Yeah.
There's some thinkers on the screen here.
There's some good thinking on the bad guy side of things for sure. Like the whole like Ben Riley thing of like, I want to take it so I can live a normal life. I'm like, do you though? Like,
I have no reason.
Does it really impact you that much? Like,
I have no other option but to believe him when he says, I only did it because I felt good about doing it, and I don't feel good about doing it, or it doesn't make me feel good anymore.
Sure.
And, so, yeah, he just doesn't want it anymore, but I was just like, so you weren't trying to be a good guy? I feel like we didn't spend enough time then on that. You just like the fun of it.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a particularly fun, especially when Robbie gets beat up and he's like, I can see why you don't like doing this. I'm like, yeah, it seems like it's like a burden, but you do it to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But he says multiple times, I only did it because it was fun.
Yeah, love that.
So I'm just like, I just have to believe him because he's still helping the way he thinks he can. Like, he's just not doing it as the Spider. And I'm just like, while still doing like webbing things and doing stuff like that. So it's not like he's like, I don't even want to be reminded of these powers. No, I'll still use these. I just don't want to be like front and center as that guy because it's not fun anymore.
It's a weird choice for sure.
Yeah, I'm hoping that if they do another season, they unpack that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
I hope so too. Yeah.
But as I said, I can only just be like, he said it twice, and like, I don't know. I could force like, no, he just didn't want to do it because he lost his wife. But I'm like, this season shows that like, or his fiance, I should say. But this season was like, he's still trying to do good deeds, or at least, I guess not. Maybe he is like, no, I'm just a coward.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second. But
yeah. Well, Kat has to go through that. She's like, no, you're not. Wait, yes, you are. No, you're not.
Yeah. Again, that back and forth between the two of them, it was electric. It was good.
Some good stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I don't remember how she figured it out that he was the Spider, but I like when she's like, just gonna fall out the window, see what you do about it.
I'm gonna commit to this. Yeah.
It's what Lois does in My Adventures with Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
I know that. I guess.
Doesn't Margot Kidder also do it?
Yeah, but he doesn't. No, she does in the second movie. She does that thing where she tries to go like down Niagara Falls, and he goes out of his way not to be Superman, and I'm just like, you fucking asshole.
Yeah, he's an asshole. Oh well.
But yeah, I feel like we talked about all the characters. Is there a character we didn't?
Nope.
Get to?
Nope. I mean, not any of the main characters and all that kind of stuff. We could talk about the mayor, but like, who cares about the mayor?
That should not have been in the show.
Yeah.
Like we said, he's like, my big thing is I'll get rid of prohibition, and everyone's like, we weren't taking that seriously at this point.
Yeah.
I know it's like an easy win to say, but it just felt like not enough time I spent with him for me to be like, oh yeah, like that's like the insight we're getting in, like insight into how he tricks the people. Just like, it just seems so unimportant to this, other than Kat's working with that mayor to get him reelected instead of the person Silvermane's backing.
Yeah. It's just, and I mean, like, I like the fact that they brought in historically accurate elements of, like, you know, Canadians being the bootleggers and all that kind of stuff during the Prohibition in America and all that kind of stuff. I like that, but I'm just
like when he doesn't show up and like, is it because we're Canadian? He's like, yeah, because you're Canadian.
It's because you're like, but I'm like, why did you put it so far towards the end of Prohibition, where you could have put it smack in the middle, where like Silvermane's thing actually makes a little bit more sense, where he's like,
because all of this is supposed to be like everyone's getting close to the end of their life. So like even Kat, I think they are letting her play her actual age, which is like 42, 43.
Sure.
Being like not the young model anymore.
Yeah.
And knowing that she probably will be replaced by Silvermane. Sure. I think that's the point. Is that everything's like near the end of
makes a lot
Best
of
Buy.
sense. Yeah. Okay, that makes a lot more sense than for why they did that. But I'm just like, it kind of would have been stronger if they had just put it a few more years before the end of Prohibition and all that kind of stuff.
But I think even Silverman says, like, it's getting boring. Like, he's like, I'm doing this because of the fight. It's what makes things taste better. Like,
Sure.
I don't really have a fight anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's in the middle of it, he would definitely have a fight going on.
Fair. Right.
Yeah. He, yeah, I feel like that's it. It's a show that is having fun more than committing to the noir aspects. And I liked the dialogue for the most part, and how it's performed. Not just the dialogue, but how it's performed.
Mm-hmm.
They've set themselves up for a second season.
Yep.
I do hope that they figure out the benefits of having Janet, who is Latina, and Robbie, who is Black, at the center of things, and how they might experience the world, and how that might help us be more endeared to Ben Reilly as he works with them and sees how they're seeing the world. Again, I don't want them to do what they did in the comics with Robbie Robertson. I'm just saying that was interesting to see a comic by what I assume are white people actually be like, I really do need to actually consider what my actual friend who is Black was talking about, instead of trying to dismiss what he was saying.
Right.
And that he saw a world in a way that I need to see the world as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's actually interesting. They touched on it, like diet racism in this, to be like, yeah, this is the historically accurate parts, but they didn't actually lean into anything.
Or like the fire guy's wife being like, I don't think you want a white woman screaming about a black man in the hotel. Again, like, only he can experience that. But there was other times where it's just like, I feel like you need to bring Ben into this a bit more, and have, if he's the lead, and have him think about that kind of stuff too. Yep,
I completely agree with you on that.
But yeah, I've already talked about my biases up top, so have you.
So I think we just rate this thing now.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna give it a 6.
I'm at a 6.5.
Excellent. I think they nailed it with the look and some of the dialogue. I think they really needed to figure out the pacing better. And if they can inch themselves closer to that original run, like the original first 8 issues, that would be better. And a better use of their time. I know it's on Amazon, but Amazon also, for the better part of 5 seasons, had the boys unpack these types of things.
Yep. It's not like Amazon's afraid of leaning into this.
Yeah, they make so much money, they're like, who cares? Let them have it. But so then it comes down to the people making it, and I know the original Punisher showrunner was doing this, as in the original Netflix one. But we had our opinions about his show before.
Yes.
At least he found something funny to do.
Yeah.
Good for him. All right. I don't know what we're doing next week, but we'll be back. In the meantime, thank you very much for listening to this episode. You can find us at tdfeverything.com/spoiledrotten. You can email us, spoiledpodcast@gmail.com. We are at tdfspoiled on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, Lemonade, YouTube. And please rate, review, subscribe, share with your friends on your podcast platform of choice. All right. Bye-bye.
Cheers!
This has been a TDF Everything production, brah.